Adrian wasn't used to hearing the word no. In fact, he had lived his entire life without ever facing it. So, when Natasha ignored his presence that first day, his ego couldn't let it go. The very next morning, his driver pulled up to the slum again. Adrian stepped out clutching a designer bag. Inside was a gift he was sure would crack her indifference. "Natasha," he said with a proud smile, holding the box out like an offering. "Thank you, but I don't accept gifts from strangers," she said, leaving him standing there with diamonds in his hand, ignored like a street peddler. The next day he came with roses. She gave them to the volunteers to distribute to the mothers in the slum. The next, he brought her an expensive wristwatch. She politely said, "I already have one that works fine." Day after day, Adrian tried, and Natasha politely turned him down without hesitation. For the first time in his life, Adrian knew what it meant to fail. The humiliation festered. Worse still, he knew the youths who had warned him were watching. Their smirks and whispered jokes that made his blood boil. He couldn't afford to lose. Even though he despised the slum, he forced himself to come back daily. Not out of interest in the project or care for the poor, but out of sheer pride. He needed Natasha to fold. He needed to watch her swoon like every other woman had done before, but she never did. Finally, after weeks of rejection, frustration clawed at his throat. He cornered her one afternoon, his voice sharp with irritation. "Enough of these games, just tell me your price." His eyes burned into hers. "Whatever you want, money, a car, a house. Just name it, and I'll have you for one night." The slap came so fast, he didn't even see her hand move, shocking him to silence. Gasps echoed from the volunteers, who had seen everything. Natasha's voice cut through the air like ice. "I am not for sale." Adrian's face turned crimson, half from the sting of her hand, half from the sting of humiliation. He clenched his fists, his voice rising in fury. "What do you think you are?" he roared. "I have women far more beautiful than you throwing themselves at me, and yet I try to impress you and you slapped me." The crowd stared, but Natasha walked away, leaving him there, humiliated with rage. In that moment, Adrian swore to himself he would not lose. No woman had ever said no to him, and Natasha would not be the first. She would surrender, one way or another. For Adrian Harlow, this had gone beyond attraction. It had become war. Like, comment, and subscribe for more stories.